Hey, this is Divine Sunshine, and this is Divine Unisource 11 at the Playground Experience. I have my lovely co-host here, April Williams and Kathy D. All right, today's topic is how about the Ascension symptoms? I know we've all got it. We're sitting there having a conversation 1 minute, and next minute we done dozed off. Or we got the tingling feeling. Or we got the, I don't feel so hungry. I feel nauseous. So you got that nauseating feeling too as well. I didn't have it all, this up and down, whatever. So we're going to talk about like the ascension symptoms, some of you all might, and then kind of move into as to, what's the purpose of it? I mean, what's actually going on so we can kind of really get some clarification too as well. So let's start out with the first thing. What kind of ascension symptoms have you been experiencing, Kathy D?
Well, mine has been the tingling in my hands and my feet, through my legs, the, nodding off to sleep, the ringing in my ears, downloads and clarity. A lot of, just things just coming to me, bang, 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 and then extremely vivid dreams.
Vivid dreams. Okay. All right there. April Williams, how about those ascension symptoms?
What? Just kidding. That's some of that happens too. Right? You end up having conversations. I feel like someone kind of enters me, comes the energy almost as if there's a second body under my body, and they're having emotions and feelings, and I can feel emotions pouring through me. I can I got the nausea. I got rashes. Well, it's just been shifting around and moving.
Rashes are part of this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I add that to my list too.
If you're lucky, maybe you'll skirt past and you could just ascend.
I got the rash.
Yeah, we're sharing a collective irritant, releasing itself from the system. It's almost like I call it like entering. Feels like a dizziness or something kind of comes in like a dizzy spell type deal. Feeling like water is running down the body, or like
yes, that the other day.
Numbness too. Clumsiness.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yay! Notification.
Confirmation. You're clumsy.
You sure are.
But it's more like a confirmation of I'm not clumsy. The spirit integrating. Right? Stop identifying myself with because I want on a certain level we have been programmed for distraction. We've been programmed to be ruled by emotion and just let the world kind of sway through when we actually have power, right? So one of the little ways is, I'm clumsy, or I'm forgetful, and it's like, no, there have been things coming at you all day, and you've been constantly pushed towards distraction. That's not even you. So for me to not tell myself I'm clumsy makes me feel more capable, right? Mm-hmm. Because who doesn't want me capable? That's another episode.
Yeah. So I forgot about that. The water. Because the other day I said, wait, I feel like I'm taking a shower all of a sudden. This all on the right hand side. This right here. This like somebody just taking a picture and just say pour. All that kind of feeling. I forgot about that. I had chills. I had to sleep with a hoodie on. That's how cold I was in the bed underneath the covers with a hoodie. And I was like, I can't get warm. I can't get warm. My feet was cold. That was another thing too. I forgot about that. Those symptoms I had as well. I'm trying to see, was there anything else? A lot of forgetting. Well, I forget, but it was a little bit more than usual. Like, what was I doing? Oh yeah, that. a lot of that. What was I? Okay, mid sentence. Okay, it was something I was supposed to say. I forgot again.
It's almost like you can get taken to other places too, like other worlds and.
Right. Like, when did I move that? I put that there? I don't remember me that. I put that there. Oh Lord, like that. There's a lot of that. I even seen mom do that. She's like, "What I do with the groceries? The bag I just bought in." I don't know. So yeah, a lot of that ascension thing. What is the purpose of the ascension? What is? We're gonna ask you, April. Ascension. What is it, and what's the purpose of it?
The purpose, this, I think, it should definitely be collective, because everybody, we keep talking about, like, because this is typically, if you're listening to this, you'll be from the twin flame community, right? And I guess it's across the board, it doesn't matter, but it's the new earth, right? It's the new world, it's the new age, it's the new era. As of the 21st of June, was that Sunday? For those of you, this is time stamp.
Yes.
Post the solstice and the lunar eclipse. Or was it a solar eclipse? I don't know. There's
Solar.
so it's
Solar.
season.
Solar.
It was a solar eclipse.
The ring of fire.
It's the end of the Mayan calendar, according to is it the Julian or the Gregorian? No, but the Ethiopian calendar, the Eritrean. It's 2012 there. They're on a different time league. And to see how people have done the astrology related to the Mayan calendar, it's officially the end. So that means there's a beginning, right?
I thought 2000 was the end of the world.
Well, you're still here, ain't you? It's the end of the world as we know it. But I feel fine.
Right.
I think there's a whole song about that.
Well, Diddy, and it goes like this, yes.
Because I get higher elevation, ascension with my friends, I get high with a little help from my friends. I wonder how many lyrics I can do throughout this episode. The drinking game begins now. Hydrate. Just kidding. Okay, I know we're all over the place and I'm very silly, but yes, ascension, we are raising into a new earth. We're raising into a new level. We are now about to have our full ride into this new world. A lot of people can feel spirit and energy, and they touch it when they go into places that they we are very familiar with it in churches and when you're doing high vibrational events, but now it's being integrated into everything from being at home, cleaning your house, understanding that you are actually removing any kind of spiritual blocks from yourself, clearing out old energies, and we're doing it within our own bodies in terms of looking at the health and our wellness. Now that we're all very concerned with viruses and bacteria and things like that, we know that there are things that are smaller than us that can actually take us out. And on a psychological level, that's like the little things that we beat ourselves up with, or the self-talk that's negative, or the things that we're out processing from our parents and their parents and the hundreds of years of slavery and so on and so forth. So we're now ascending consciously. There's enough human beings on Earth, and this could have always been the case, but enough of us are now aware of this imbalance, and now we're shifting. And we're shifting it. We're calling it higher, but in the time-space continuum, there isn't really a higher, but it's called ascension, right? Ascended. When you touch God, when you touch that space of connectedness, that is typically what people are calling ascension, when you're going into that heavenly realm. But we're bringing it in here on Earth. So our entire planet is ascending. I'm sure you've heard all this conversation. This new world is becoming a place that we can now hold and touch and taste, but we don't know how we are fully powerful and integrate in creating it. So as we take back our media, as we take back our time, as we take back our actual relationships and develop true intimacy with ourselves and what we're healing from, and as we really hear others, we're able to make it more sustainable, our creations. Because the world we've built has been built on a lot of misguiding, misuse, and imbalance from the earth. So we're working towards creating ultimate balance with our mothership, our earth. And to do that, we all must ascend. Girl, what you doing over there? What is happening?
I know she's very distracted.
I'm like,
You know,
are
I,
there
we're
demons?
actually on the other account. I know because it's got this
I
daggone.
noticed we had the little thingy up there.
I was like in the middle of it, and I was like, I really wanted to say, like, stop. We ain't got my right thing. What the heck is this StreamYard thing on here? I didn't even. We in the flow now, so just let it go. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well,
When
you know
I
what's cool? I can turn it into a metaphor.
turn it to a metaphor, then fix it. Fix it, Jesus.
Oh, the fix it, I don't know about the fix it. But
Okay.
as we stream together, our connection, our love, our concentration towards this positive vibration and lifting each other up, we actually are powering our planet to become her most utmost self. Like people want to treat or make you assume through whatever propaganda that the end all be all is this mortal physical experience when it's much greater than that. But this mortal physical experience is paramount because this is where we chose to take our little vacations. You know what I mean? And everyone deserves to have a really good vacation. So how can we get ourselves to this space where we're all able to grow and laugh and love and feel that harmony? We stream our yards together. We build a one big backyard. Oh man, I lost it. If it was Stream Yarn, I could do it. For some reason, man, I know I was that close. Oh well.
But you
Let me
get
get off my soapbox.
your yards, stream your yards. Well, here in Chicago, we have a. That's funny you say that. We have a event here, like for house music. House music is like taking disco music and you put like a real strong beat behind it. You bring that bass up and everything else for that, and it goes that way. And you mix it with other songs and things of that nature. So that's kind of like house music. It's a little bit more better definition, but that's the long and the short of it. So we have a 3 yards banging where it started off with 3 yards. They used to do like a celebration of them and celebrating house music, and somebody would play music or whatever like that. And so as it grew, I think when those time came along, if I'm saying it right, they took, the division lines and they opened it up so their yard would be much bigger for them to be able to celebrate. And after a while, it became a big celebration. And so now we even it grew into the street around the person where they live, to now it's like takes up a whole like a whole bunch of city blocks. They do it now by high school. And so now they do the house music celebration there. But that's interesting how it grows. Are you saying StreamYarding, how it can grow from one thing, taking the divisions up, and it grows from 3 yards, and then it had grown to the whole city, the block, the neighborhood block, until they grew and they made it much bigger till it takes up a whole like several city blocks to celebrate. So how I can be able to kind of like celebrate, just that one idea, and how you bring other people in, how it can grow over time. So that's another way of saying how, another way of cleaning it up, saying how StreamYard, how that brings that us together as a community, that ascension. And it's almost like it starts off and it almost like a flame to me. Is one starts and then another is like a chain reaction as well when we're talking about that. I think the purpose of ascension is that, again, I think Jupiter 1111 talks about how we ascend and hold, ascend and hold. I was listening also to a radio guy, and he had brought up a point that said here, his name is it's called the Al the something AC Green show, and he had like a thing stating about negative things, like when you get to a point, he said, and you're at the point that you're about to give up, he said not to give up, for you to be able to kind of like stay right there at that point, because if you go turn back, you're going to have to start all over again. So it's always best for you to just kind of keep on going. Even if you don't know what you're doing, it's best to just stay there, but not to turn back, because if you do, you got to start the process all over again. And that's why I think about like ascending. Some of us is kind of a little scared to ascend, to go to the next level when we're talking about in life in general. And it's important to understand that life is like almost like a stream. It's going to push you regardless if you want to go or not. It's going to be maybe a gentle nudge, or if you say extreme, it's more so of a gentle nudge than a big push that happens to you. But you're getting pushed whether you know it or not. It might be just very small actions. But again, ascension is helping you to go to that next level in life. And it's needed because that's growth spiritually. It's not for us to stay stagnated. It's always for us to be able to grow and go to the next level. Some of our next levels look different. Some of them might be 2 steps, or it might be like a baby going up the steps. When you put right and left on the same step, then you go up again, right and left on the same step. Or some of us like right and left, next step, right and left, next step. Or some of us take big giant leaps like my kids do in the classroom. I'm like, why don't you take one step like you're gonna break your neck? But some of us like to take 3 stairs at a time and ascend. So, it goes back to what Kathy says. Everybody's ascension is different. I think April touched upon that too. And we're not all moving at the same time, but we all are. Oh, okay. Confirmation. But we all are moving and ascending to go on, because this again is Earth is a teachable planet, and you want to learn something regardless, that you will not be left the same. Rather, you think you are, but you have been changed just from the exposure and being exposed to it. So that's what I think ascension is. It's like a lot of hodgepodge of things, but that's what my ascension thing is for me. Kathy D, did you want to add on, especially from a mind aspect? I mean, what's ascension as far as one from a mind aspect?
Well, ascension is, ultimately what both of you have said it is. But from a mind standpoint of it, when you're looking at it, removing the spiritual and the energy body from it, and from a mental standpoint, a lot of times it can be confused as certain types of ailments. um, and so we look at it that way. And so I think the main thing you have to do first and foremost is one, make sure that you are healthy, that you aren't having any, medical signs and symptoms, but you do know deep down that you are, having this, if you have, the understanding of it. The other thing is it's getting to that point of the belief, and it's of the faith that this is what's happening, and it's happening to you. It can happen to you. I think I've been going through these symptoms for quite a while, and I don't know how much mine are ascension and how much mine are energy. That I've never recognized, always gave it another excuse. My hands and feet were hot. Well, I live in Florida. Of course, your hands and feet are hot. So there was always an excuse for it. And I never took the time to sit with it and understand. And this time I really started to, and this is where your soul family comes in, because I had mentioned to, my bestie soul sister, hey, my hands and feet are tingling. Is that normal? And she said, mine have been too. It's been off and on, she said, with ascension and energy symptoms. And then I started getting, the downloads and the ringing in the ears. And I didn't get the water like down the side of me, but I would get it as if I had watered my ears, and it would just pour out. And, so it's one of those things that it is, I want to say it's matter over mind, because you can talk yourself out of it. You can say, oh, it's just this, I'm fine, don't worry about it. But I have to say, when you do sit with it and understand what it is and go with it, it is the most amazing ride. The downloads and the vivid dreams. Like, I haven't had dreams this vivid since I was a kid, and remembering them, being able to remember them, and just know it. Some of it is just knowing that, you know you're not ill, or you're not off your rocker, that this is what's happening, and you've been chosen for this to happen to. And that's, I think you take it at that point as an honor, and are very thankful and show a lot of gratitude that you were chosen to have this ascension. Everybody's going to go through it at different points, but um I hope you don't get everything at once. That it's kind of wild at that point, but
Yeah,
you
you
just
only
it's
get what you can handle.
yeah. Hmm. And so you just show a lot of gratitude. You've got to be grateful for it. There are many people that haven't even haven't even woken up yet, or have been given the opportunity to and haven't. And not only have you accepted the opportunity to wake up, you've accepted this wonderful adventure of a twin flame. And now, you know, as we go through ascension, and it's never anything that ever stops. I think these develop more and more into our gifts. You know, do you ladies agree? I think this is as we, because we're constantly ascending in small steps and steps, and the longer you've ignored them, the more they all come in at once. But and you keep ascending, and I think some of this, you know, then leads to your next set of gifts, because not only are you ascending spiritually and energetically, but you know, more things are downloading for your gift set, you know, be it clairvoyancy or you know, anything like that. We know we have telepathy with our twin, but you know, there are other areas that we can then be able to receive and, you know, heal and things like that. So
While you were talking, I found an interesting article. Let me see if I can screen share. That's talking about Ascension for 2020. So who would have known these special Ascension symptoms for that? Let me see. I'm gonna do an experiment on this and see what you
I
say. Screen sharing.
I don't fully believe in linear time, but I am acknowledging it because I am right now.
Okay, can I do that?
So
Because
Ascension for 2020, I guess it depends on where you are, right?
yeah, let's see if we do it.
it's probably for those of us that are, you know, more mental, you know, to understand that before they understand the linear and how timeline works.
Yeah, so I'm just curious to know. We
Hmm.
can pick it apart for the
Call
next
people
thing, but you know,
ascended.
I'm dating.
Let's see.
What?
Yeah, so can you see what I'm showing?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Just the big
so
words.
huh? So this is from askingangels.com. I should have did half of it. I did the whole screen, so I can't see you all. You can see me. So it says Ascension is
It's
a
a good
lifting.
thing you can't see us.
Yeah, oh, it is okay. Ascension is a lifting a personal vibration to a higher, more refined level. So, what are all the symptoms we are going through in order to get there? So, according to this article, it says Ascension is a planet-wide and it's happening to all of us. We are all literally moving out of the old world, which we talk about the old paradigm, into the new. We are becoming lighter, kinder, and more spiritual as we move into a new and higher dimension. Our DNA is also altering to accommodate this shift into the new world, changing so that we may carry more light. So that's why that's what's going on about ascension. So in case some of these people who are more analytical and like information, we kind of give them a lot for their eye gate and their ear gate to look at. So we do not need to fear ascension symptoms as they pass through us. It is a process to be sure, and it can be unpredictable, which we said that. It can be annoying. We said that. And we find amounts of resistance as you traverse this, or blocks that manifest physically in the body or in the emotions of mind. There is no fast way to ascend. We go slowly, just like our planets, which too is ascending. So here are some ascension signs. I'm just going to kind of breeze through it. So it's talking about achy pains and physical discomfort.
We talked about those.
We talked about that. And it said the best thing to do if the doctor can't offer you no comfort is to relax, try a little natural healing to fix things like meditation, yoga, or Reiki, or anything else to get rid of. So you just need to relax. Second thing is energy flowing up your spine. Did anybody say they had that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, mine kind of, yeah, because it flows through my arms and my legs and yeah, through my body. So yeah, that would be my spine.
See, I
Yeah.
feel like
Go on, April. I can't see you, so I can't tell when you're talking. So go on. What?
it's just that a lot of people have already gone through a large portion of this,
Hmm.
and it gets a little bit. It can be heavier or light depending on where you are in the process. I just got that vision of when you walk in someone else's footprints on the sand. Have you ever done that before? It's
Hmm.
actually easier to walk in someone else's footprints. So there are
Oh,
people who went through this process way before it, like the great we'll call them descended masters, right?
uh,
Because they're now considered ascended, but when they were here on Earth, they technically were descended, right?
Right.
So Jesus was one. I'm pretty sure
So,
Muhammad and Buddha were also ascended masters. Kuan Yin. These are all like physical bodied people that were
mm,
considered enlightened, right? Because they brought the heaven in with them. So we're raising Earth up to heaven, and our just as our twin is mirroring and matching us, they're also the opposite and equal thing is happening. So heaven is coming down to meet us. So
right.
we're touching into having knowledge that we don't normally have, but then we question how do we know that? You know, there's a lot. So keep going because it all comes into play.
Yeah, right. Okay. And then they say energy flowing up the spine. They say many people are experiencing strange energy flows to do with opening our body to new levels of energy flowing from divine levels. They said you might be feeling spaced out or ungrounded as well during this time. So sometimes your limbs, okay, but we said that about that one. So they say best again to relax for that again. You might have headaches. I've had a little bit of that. So your headaches can all occur, especially if you are unwillingly a transmuter for others. Oh, now I didn't know that. Many people are releasing a lot of negative energy, and many of us are transmuting, are cleansing this back into the light. So if you're prone to these types of headaches, they're saying, oh, they say do some coffee,
Caffeine.
caffeine, take some garlic capsules, meditate, some amethyst will be helpful. You got some unusual forethinkers, you might have some unusual emotions. Doing Ascension, you might be prone to experience all kinds of odd emotions that aren't seemingly tied to anything in your life. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
with that is to breathe through it, sit down for a while, and have some rest. This too shall pass. And that's what I said. Just as you become the observer, I would say, and not to be the one to collect it. Just let it run through you. Say, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then let it keep on going. And next one, 5, strange sleeping habits, strange sleeping patterns. You talked about that, Kathy, about the dreaming, right? What they're going to think there. There will be times when you can't sleep. Oh, okay. There are times when you are sleeping quite normally. It will probably go in blocks that last quite a while. The reason for not sleeping is probably due to integrating any healing work you have been doing during sleep. There may be a few hours when you can't get back to sleep. And they gave you some things what you could do, watch television, whatever. Number 6,
And that's always good to have soul family in Hawaii because then it's only like 10 o'clock when you're like wide awake in the middle of the night and they're still up so you can text
that's
them.
right. I know that's right. Dial your friend, dial in
They're
a
like,
friend. Like
finally,
who?
someone for me.
Right. Uh, becoming more psychic. That's another thing. You will truly become more psychic and sensitive this time, and this is natural to be expected. You talk more to angels. Yeah, I talk to angels. Maybe you will start picking up energy from others. You might become a little more empathic and psychically during the day. You might begin to have some vision. So that's also if you're new to this journey, this venture. Yeah, there's like read up some more. If you are reading this page, then you'll probably be okay with becoming more sensitive to energy and reading. That's true. Play around with it, see where it takes you. That's good. Number 7, they say your relationship will alter and change. Our relationships with others usually change when we begin on an ascension path. We've been saying that, especially with this time with the different energies that we've had here. This is supposed to be this thing with the Cancerian moving the moon energy into that. We're supposed to be more in family focus. So that's interesting. We're talking about that, and we're saying about this period too. We're getting rid of people that no longer serve. So this goes along with this ascension that we're experiencing. So we are all ascending at different rates and levels, and some of us are fully aware of ascension, while others try to hide from it. So this is okay, but it can have an effect on relationships, making them change or alter in some ways. All right. So many of the old relationships we have with people were based on manipulation in some way, and you will be moving out of this old energy. I've heard that from several readers. This old energy into the light. So that's where they're talking about the karmic issues. If you got someone who's manipulative and playing the role of the karmic, That's where they would say they will be able to. This is the time that you feel like, you know what, I can't stand no more of this manipulation. So you'll probably feel a little bit more irritated than usual, more sensitive, and saying, okay, you know what, this isn't working. So when people try to manipulate you, it will simply bounce off. Okay. Or you may find that you are avoiding people or letting them go from your life. And this is okay too. So just relax, breathe, and know that everything is going to be okay at the end. Number 8, a whole new awareness arise. So this part is fun and may encompass a whole new learning experience as you start to read more, using the internet, talking to new people, like joining the Sunshine Circle about all kinds of things. So they're saying just kind of read up on it, understand that with this thing, you might feel your whole feeling might also include you changing your diet, may change radically as you begin to ascend. You will probably try out all kinds of different things, some more crystals, meditation, yogas, those things, and you'll begin to listen to yourself and not others, especially the media. Some of you all might be on a fast. Like I don't do too much of the looking social media on is only one, and that I haven't found out. But otherwise, that I've been kind of getting off of that. And everything changes slowly as we all begin to ascend. And soon there will be disclosures to the public about many issues that have before been covered up. Oh, interesting. During Ascension time. So we have a lot to look forward to and enjoy with each other. Happy Ascension. Happy Ascensions. Okay, you want to see this other one? They're talking about some other medical things, but that's what they're talking about. Okay, we can stop. Okay, I thought that was very informative, especially for
Mhm.
someone like new and don't know. You know, they probably say, I kind of want more of the information. And that was very helpful
Yeah.
too as well. When I looked, I said, let me just kind of, the nerd in me was like, let me just go and kind of see what is it? What are some of these essentials? But ever since the rest they say 2020. But like you said, that's linear. That could go for any year, actually.
So a
Uh,
lot of people have been feeling it for a long time, and that's why
Mhm.
these channels and avenues exist. You're starting to now see more and more popularity for the the extremist or the conspiracy, because people are beginning to aware that that actually resonates better in their body. It's more, it
right,
has more ringing of truth to it. And so people, I mean, even with that, especially because of the advent of the COVID separation, isolation, forced to go inward, even with, even if you had a constant stream of social media or anything like that, you would still know something is wrong. You would still know something is off. And
right.
so, and so this is a huge year for the shifting of all of that energy. And and thankfully, it's that beautiful timing with the planets that they're helping us scour and scrape and scourge everything that's no longer good for the collective in general. And it's all rising to be scraped off and sloughed out, you know?
Hmm.
So, really thankful for it. But
Yeah.
there have been a lot of
Mhm.
really heavy emotional times. There have been times where I thought I was crazy, or why did that person say that to me? I just heard that in meditation. I can't believe what you just said, because I already heard it and knew it for myself. How could I be so powerful as to know?
Mhm.
But these children that are coming in, this new wave of energies, right? Because you know how we're starting to learn about our auras, our force field, our subtle bodies, our chakras. This is a awesome book, but this is our DM entrance for the day. Somebody's DM is posing. But you can look at
Yeah.
the subtle bodies and the chakras and how they work, and all of them are getting activated for everybody,
Mhm.
everyone. And so
Every,
we're to
the
feel
regular
for it.
Joe too. You don't have to
Yes,
be the regular Joe.
but they're, yes, but most of them are trying to numb out or check out in some way. So instead of using marijuana as a medicine, they'll use it as a escaping mechanism, or alcohol,
Yes.
or even over sexualizing, because that is a way to kind of like dissipate a lot of energy without actually using your energy to heal yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and then using that energy to then affect outwardly, right? We want to think we're at the whims of something, but this is actually an opportunity for us to take control and take power, right? when you have heavy emotions and things come in really fast, you usually are out of control. But when you you react. And so if you take a step back and you breathe, you're able to respond. And if you even able to take a deeper breath where you're now involving all of your gifts, your auras, everything that is now starting to resonate and electrify, you can now use that power for good. I would love, that would be so bad. Excuse me, if you could like master it and like start a car with your finger. I mean, you could do lightning. I heard about lightning sages and all kinds of stuff, like people who can kind of call in things.
Oh wow!
It's thunderstorm down there, playing with all the electricity. But
And I do. I blow light bulbs. Yeah. If I get really, really upset, I have blown light bulbs. I've even like messed up a ceiling fan. So yeah.
and that is hard for her to say. She's saying it, and I know you guys would try to logic because she tried to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
But when the stuff keeps happening, you got to stop and smell that because
Mm-hmm.
something's up.
Smell the charred wires.
Something's fishy and pineapple. Pineapple fish like.
Bait and tackle. That's when it's bait and tackle, you know, and it's a little
Yeah,
fishy.
yeah, some filet o fishy over there. Yeah. So a question, and I hearing them timeline jumping. Somebody said, "Well, okay, you're talking about somebody that don't know about ascension. They're very spiritual. What if you're spiritual? Is there a way that you can jump over or not experience the ascension symptoms? Is there a way that you can stop and say,
No.
I,
And
I, I, I can't, I don't want to?
I
you
feel
don't
like you
want to
can
jump over them.
dodge. I feel like you can dodge, but to really fully, um, oh, that was like the stepping in the other person's footsteps. You can learn from others who are doing it before you. It's going to be a slightly different experience for every person
Mm-hmm.
because it's not a logical integration of energy. It's an energetic integration of energy, and it's it works on levels that science cannot explain. So if you can just breathe and flow with it, know yourself, know your limitations. You have to be very, very self-aware. And let's see what else. You can step in other people's footsteps. I said that, but you're still going to get splashed a little bit. And you want to get splashed a little bit so that you actually know that it's really happening versus trying to logic. Because you could, as much as we want to say that we love everybody and doing all this right stuff, you could be toxic to people, even if you have a positive mindset, even if you want to be, because you don't understand their experience. You're speaking from your own experience, and until you develop proper empathy, you're not going to be able to really fully communicate or fully understand. Well, it's the same thing. Communication is speaking and understanding. But if you go through a little bit of the experience, then it's easier for you to have empathy for and allow each other to have their experience and not deny them what they're seeing. Because if somebody sees something or has a vision or has a dream and you don't, that doesn't mean that that isn't true or isn't part of the experience. So, I mean, unless you can just be fully open like that, like I think the kids that are coming in, they don't have much except for physical growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the emotional and spiritual and growing pains after learning psychological patterns of their parents and ancestors and stuff. But they're just going through the physical growing pains. They still talk directly to spirit and God, until they're told they don't. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've heard some people that said that they don't have ascension symptoms at all. I've been said that other people have it, but it's like I don't go through that. I
It's like a knock on wood statement to me.
I don't go through that.
I
But
don't do that. And then something comes and knocks them on their ass, and it's like, well, do you have physical disease? Right? Because that's also another way that it kind of comes out of you. It could just be like, oh, I don't have ascension symptoms, but I have really bad gas. It's like, that's also part of ascension. So, like,
hey, oh, you think I'm ascending by farting.
Oh,
Don't
We
worry, I'm sorry.
feel so
I'm
lucky.
descending. Excuse my descending.
I will take
Ooh,
farting over nausea and whatever those migraines were that looked like that felt like the finger of God at any time. I'll take that. I'll take farting over that for sure.
yeah, okay. All right then.
I
Yeah. Go
I
on,
think
Kath.
we have to get rid of the fear of it. I think, like April says, if you know yourself and you have a good I guess practice of meditation and that kind of stuff, but some of it does come easier. It's not like you've hit a wall, but even people that have those wall hit moments. And but think of it, if you're dreading it, you haven't gone through it or anything like that. Think of it as that roller coaster you've seen. It's got all the loops and the corkscrews and all that craziness, and you're like, oh, I'm not riding that. I'm not riding, not riding it, not riding it, not riding it. And your friends get you on it, and you're on it, and you're screaming, and you're going upside down, and you're threatening to kill every last one of them. But when it's all over with, and you get off, and you're like, woo, let's do it again,
Right.
because you've understood, you've overcome that you can make it through that. And I think that's where a lot of this is with Ascension, that it is that roller coaster ride. And just enjoy it. Go, like I said earlier, look at it with gratitude, because it is taking you to a higher level. It is opening you up to so many new experiences and understandings. I mean, if I could list out just in the last 3 days the eye opening aha moments that I have gotten, it would be ridiculous. I mean, literally, it would. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, then.
Yeah, because
I hear
I
you
remember.
laughing at me.
Yeah,
It's
but I
funny
remember.
because they're like it's literally ridiculous. People, you do.
I mean,
It
it
really
is. I
is.
mean, it's like, everybody says, oh, well, I've had all this. No, I mean, I've had eye openings about my family, about my kids, about my karmic, about my DM, about my DM's karmic, about, our soul family, about, dreams and the way I look at things, and the way I perceive things, the way I perceive people, food. I mean, it really is ridiculous. And that's just the top 10. I mean, I can go as far down as, shoe style. It's been crazy.
And that's only like 3 days into
That's
Mercury.
3 days.
And I don't think this Mercury in retrograde is really a retrograde feeling for a lot of us who are on this particular path within the twin flame. It's more like a great reveal, like it's like the final band-aid pull, but it's
Hmm.
slow. So you can rip out and every hair and its follicle.
Hmm.
Not just the hair,
Oh,
the follicle.
And I think, though, some of this, when you understand that you're going through ascension, it does make all this crazy retrograde make more sense and a little bit easier to, I guess, digest. Because as you're doing, like you're saying, you're doing that scrubbing, you're doing that deep cleaning, but it's coming to you so easily. It's
Yes.
like, it's not pulling teeth. You're not, what am I missing? What am I missing? I know, a few months ago, that was the thing. What am I missing? Show me what I'm missing. I've got to be missing something. And then as the ascension just started and these things just started coming up, it makes retrograde and that clearing and that cleaning and the releasing so much easier, because these things, if you're just going with it and you're not fighting it, these things just start popping up.
mhm.
Now, I'm not saying you're not going to get stumped, because I got one right now that I'm quite stumped on. And I'll get through it and I'll figure it out, and with a little help from my friends.
So that reminds me of
The
what
Beatles song. Oh,
the
sorry.
free, the free the, the the locking up in the body.
Hmm.
Okay? It's the number one symptom that you're not allowing yourself to flow. We often also hold our breath. Breathing is a key part of our being alive.
It's very helpful. Very helpful. I highly recommend it.
Me too. The more you know. Just, but
2 out of 3 people on the playground recommend breathing. But
Right.
as these things are rising up for you, You're going to notice that you want to hold your breath. You're going to notice you're going to want to hold on to something. You're going to notice you want some comfort food or something you're craving, just to kind of try to find some kind of normalcy, but there's no ground right now because we're ascending. And we're shifting, and there's two different states of consciousness. And there's the sheeple that are getting controlled by like the media and the whims of their own emotions. And then there's those who are ascending, who are allowing things to change, to look at something and no longer be affected by it. But sometimes you got to look at it, like really look at it, and it's going to come up. But when you allow it to flow through, the energy to just flow through your body, and the thoughts to just kind of flow through, and the emotions themselves to flow through, that means screaming, crying, whatever, laughing, just to process, because like that was ridiculous. why even, right? So it just allows the energy to integrate through and transmute into something higher, so you can stay in a higher vibration. Our old patterning often circles us around the dream, and we keep
Yeah.
looking at it, and we kind of make it like we let ourselves become more raw and more tender. But if you give it the time and space that it's needed, and right now it's happening really quickly, dive deep, have fun with it, be silly, get weird with it. If you feel like you got to start like barking like a dog or whatever to let go of your past life where you were the best friend of your actual dog in your normal life when you were like 7 years old. Like, I know I went all over the place with that. But if you just allow yourself to play within these spaces, surrender to it. Right? Hands up. I see. Oh, I see, and now I hear and understand. And I see it and feel it, and it doesn't feel the same. And you start to carry this lighter vibration of you, and the earth herself is allowed to become a lighter vibration of herself, and we're shaking off all of these external injustices, because our humanity gets to be up leveled. All these children get to have a level playing field. They get to have the resources they need, the safety they need, and and to become what this planet truly can provide. We're no longer holding ourselves back. Some of us are unfortunately passing on to help shoot us forward. And so, we thank them for all that they've done and the lessons they taught us and the life experiences we've had with them. But we're moving now into the space of this. And I'm happy. I feel like we can finally breathe. I feel like we can finally take a breath because we realized we weren't.
Yeah, and when you mentioned about that too, now ascension is not just for humans. Your animals and pets go through ascension as well. So I just let you know, because I even noticed some changes in my dogs and her appetite. I said, "Oh my God, she's so sensitive." So she doesn't eat as much as she used to. She gets very picky about what things she wants to eat, what things she don't want to eat, as well. So this is it's very interesting how it affects your pets as well, or the animals too. They ascend to the don't think that it's only catered just to humans on things. I'm guessing if you breathing, you ascend, you
Including
experience.
plants, right? They're starting to
Yeah.
talk to people. People are able to talk to plants, animals, all kinds of stuff. This stuff is real. Enjoy it. Like, this is
Right.
no judgment time, right? Why? Because why did we even learn judgment in the first place? To discern us from hurting ourselves or hurting others. And that's
Hmm.
all that is necessary. After that, we're just holding ourselves back, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you have any kind of exercise for us, or anything that we can be doing? Is there anything maybe help us? Whatever is guided. Let me be quiet. What's guided to you about ascension?
At first, I really want to hear how Kathy D is using with the mind in order to integrate, and then
Okay.
it'll
Good
help
one.
you into what to do.
Okay.
Um, Actually, I've been calling in my angels, and I have been been talking with my angels, and it is a process that I use to talk to the DM, or really to anybody, to um, relatives that have passed on. Um, and it's a very simple visualization. You count down from 5 to 1, but as you do, you're going down the stairway, and you are down in this room. It's like a basement, and it's a big brown leather chair, and you're sitting in it, and you're doing your breathing then in the chair, and you call in the person to join you. And sometimes you can leave it open to who you need help from if you don't know who to call in. And they come in and you can have a conversation with them. I've found out that Archangel Metatron is the archangel over energy upgrades and ascension.
Oh,
So he comes in and helps. Archangel Gabriel helps with dreams. So if you're wanting to remember these dreams, you call him in. Archangel Michael is always, the protectors you're going through this, which is a wonderful thing to have, because I think sometimes you can get a little bit vulnerable if it is a little bit on the wild side, if you have some more pretty wild ascension stuff going on. Um, but so you have the conversation, and I will say, when you call them in, archangels higher, um, family members that have passed on are a little harder sometimes to call in. Call them in 3 times and you'll feel their energy, and as they come in and they sit there with you, you'll feel their energy. um, and just talk to them, and then ask questions or ask for guidance, or just talk to them, tell them you love them, tell them you miss them, and then you release it and you thank them. Always thank them. Always thank them. For coming in. Always thank them. And then when you're done, do the same thing back. I always have it where it's kind of like like a library. It's got the fireplace, the big high back leather chairs. You can do it any way you want to. And I always have a candle there, and I blow it out, and then I head up the stairs. And then, so where I counted down 5 to 1, I count 1 to 5 to bring me back out of that state. And that's how I do it.
That's beautiful. I felt that. I went there. I'm part
I'll
of.
do a video on that. You
yeah,
ladies remind me. I'll do a video on that, and I'll put it on my channel. And it's where you can talk to. I know it's gonna text me right now. Where you can call people in and have that.
beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, that was so good.
Oh,
Give me
Oh,
just.
and one last thing. Let me tell you, please don't get upset if you call a person in and they don't come in. They usually say call them in 3 times. If they don't come in, don't be upset. It's either not the right time for you to talk to them, or something to that effect. It's not that they don't want to talk to you. So always understand that there are, other reasonings, and it's always for your highest good. Because
mhm.
I've heard people say, well, I've called my mother in and she's never come in, and da da da. Well, there's a reason. Have you just heard how you talked about your mother? There's a reason she's not coming in.
Come here, right?
So be mindful of that, but don't be upset. And I've also called in archangels and had Jesus himself walk in. So don't ever be like, well, I didn't call you in. Always be grateful for whoever comes
So
in at that time.
that sounds like a thing now. Okay. All right. I don't know what she is, but I'm gonna jump right on in real quick. I pulled some cards to see what should we be doing as far as ascension as the collective.
All right,
They
slide us over to the side so we can see.
Yeah, you're right on that. You got to slide. Let me do the slide. They said for us to surrender to effortlessness. So it says, stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. So they're saying again, especially this is ascension affects us more, but I'm seeing here is the lady here, which means in our emotions. So just go with the flow of things, especially with ascension things are happening. I talked about that. Let it flow, let it go, observe some things that come up, and some changes that we're going to be going through collectively through this is sentimental feelings. We might get that sentimental going down the all back and nostalgic a little bit. Nostalgia might hit. Understanding that we got to transform that. Get how we connect to others and how we manifesting things too, and using our imagination as well. That's that blue. represented there by the sentimental feelings. Some of us, why this ascension thing, some things might change. We might self-employment. We talked about things that no longer serve. So we might say, deuces to the job. I can't stay in this place. It's my last day. So again, this might be something there as well. So you got the purple here. Understand, get the downloads to kind of help you know what you need to do or transform yourself to get into that how you into your, this is yellow, so this is standing in your true power when this happens, transforming that by you doing that, saying deuces to whatever that you feel that you're connected to as far as a career or a job. You doing that, that's going to be able to transform yours. You stand into your power. Some of you all during this period might be moving. You got to eliminate some things, and that can not have to be like location. It could be moving also as far as what in the spot that you're in or the level that you're in. So you'll be moving. You're gonna find yourself eliminating some things. Understand it's really black and white. How you relating to others and yourself, and how you're creating this newness. Also plays in the background is your heart chakra with that, and you're gonna find yourself taking the next step now through ascension. So again, get those downloads. Stand in your power, be able to transform that as well, and your heart chakra will be in the background playing a part as well. And then the biggest thing is you'll be experiencing spiritual growth. Okay, finding yourself getting into your bliss, being nurtured by that, which is going to help you to do with that sacral, how you relate to others and how you're able to manifest things, and seeing that things are truly in black and white as well, while your heart chakra is in the background. So those are the things that will be changing through this ascension for us collectively. And this is what we got to surrender to the effortlessness of ascension. All right, it's all yours. Coming back. All right, April, we're ready for you.
Let's take 3 deep breaths together. We're going to do box breaths. We're going to breathe in to the count of 4, hold to the count of 4, release to the count of 6.
Okay.
And then I actually want to hold the air out for the count of 3, so that when you or count of 4. So when you take that breath, it becomes even more fulfilling and enjoyable.
Okay.
So let's breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold. And in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. And out. 6, and hold. And in. That freedom, that space. And hold. Grow and cultivate inside you. Move around a little bit, let that air fill you. And out. 4, 5, 6. All right, start to breathe as normal. Maybe you can fill the little spaces, however your breath takes you. And I want you to go ahead and squeeze your pelvic floor muscles and your whole body. Like squeeze your toes, just squeeze your whole legs, like tense up everything, root down, tense it up and release. Take a deep breath and squeeze everything, even your toes and your lower part, and release. Go ahead and let your root move a little bit. It's okay to move. We are beautifully flow. We are in constant change. And it is wonderful. Earth is here to support us, and we support her by being connected with her. Now go ahead, loosen your jaws, kind of move around a little bit, let the spaces come in, and take one more deep breath, and then we're going to go to our heart. Put your hands over your heart area. Now we can see everything that's in front of us. We understand, but behind us, we don't always know what's about to be released, what's about to come forth from us. And that's okay. What came before us, what our ancestors carried for us. Some good, some not so good. And we get to release that which isn't for our highest good. It even may be serving us still because we are holding it and think it's a part of our identity. It's okay to release and to know that we are exactly where we need to be, doing exactly what we need to do, feeling and being in this beautiful body. Take a deep breath in that love from the universe. Allow that energy from the heart to shoot up to the third eye. And let that energy from the third eye shoot up to the heavens. Deep, deep, deep in the farthest parts of the galaxy, ripping into a new galaxy and a new timeline. We touch ourselves up all timelines connected through love and light to anchor it into now. Take a deep breath in and allow that energy from that deep other universe to shoot back through our universe, all the way through time and space to get into our crown chakra, our third eye, our throat, our heart. Allow that energy to go from the heart space down, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root. Squeeze that root again, and then drop, release everything, and let that energy drop all the way through you. So as you take another deep breath in, the energy comes in from the heavens, through the spinal column, all the chakras clearing, out through, and pulse your pelvic floor. Just pulse it, squeeze it, let it come out, let it come down. The energy needs to come down. Tap your heels. Energy needs to come down. We're having some blocks here. Nobody wants, there's some fear of rooting it in. All this change. The hard parts of ascension are not permanent. Those are all temporary. So trust that it is telling you something and that it will pass. Yes, there have been pains that a lot of people have carried with them. They even carry their ancestors' pain through their body. But that's okay to release it and let it change now. It no longer serves anyone, not just you. It doesn't serve any of us, and we're all here together. So let the energy flow through like a giant donut. So it goes out through the feet and around and back to the crown, and through the body, central column, and to the feet, to the crown, and let that start to cycle through. Open your eyes, wiggle around, feel that energy still. Allow that energy to be there. Just surrender to that flow. I think everyone should do some homework. One of those, I should label, I'll go back one of these days and label the stuff that we do on our videos. That different energy healings, because there's one where we tie our hearts together and people are having some fear in their hearts.
Yeah.
People are afraid of letting that go because they're so used to the pain as part of their identity, because they don't have anything to ground right now because everything is shifting. So we get to come from a space of overflowing heart energy. And when we're together, it's easier to share that space, to share that love and allow it to grow. So, yeah, just send love to each other. Just send love and light through the heart spaces of everyone. I found this it's a stone. I'll find the name of it later. I have it. I took a picture of it somewhere. But this particular, it's almost like a piece of metal of some sort, but it's to help heal heartache and heartbreak. And
Oh
so
wow.
when Kathy D started talking about the countdown to the leather couch in the basement, um, I started feeling all that healing and loving and that is needed in the heart and the heartbreak that people are processing. So I had to go get all my tools and stuff. But there's different things that you can do. Patricia McNeely's got a great channel and a lot of advice on how to handle your energies. And that she does, it's called Twin Flame Body, but it's also just Ascension Body in general. She's a lot of really, one of the things that she taught us was vetiver oil. Since I'm not working for this company, I won't advertise for them. But vetiver oil, really good for helping balance masculine energy. And then I've got this anointing oil my loving aunt sent me, but it's rose. Rose oil is a really good one for feminine. Lavender is a really good one for feminine. So if you're working on balancing your energies, these would be two good ones to work with. You can pick another masculine oil like sandalwood. Sandalwood's got a little bit of femininity to it, sweet, but like cedarwood and stuff like that, those will help just give your energetic bodies something to work with while you learn how to control your mind.
Mm, okay. All right.
Now, is
And
there an oil that is for like people that are finding that they need to release either the fear of going through ascension, or they're opening up to things and finding fear is the root of a lot of their maybe blockages and stuff?
There are, I'm going to type it in, let's see. Because what comes to mind immediately is lavender rosemary
Okay.
for clearing. But fear in general, I know the crystals that help with fear, like black tourmaline or
yeah.
shungite,
Hmm.
or you know um, stuff that helps with EMF blocking can help because there's so much frequency going on. These extra frequencies that are being put out are actually kind of making people a little bit more scrambled than usual, and that's of on top of all the retrogrades and all that stuff. So, you know, it'll be okay. Okay.
Selenite. It's called selenite.
Hmm.
Would that be you?
Selenite grounds,
It's a good
yeah.
one.
Uh huh.
Okay,
That
so here, oh, interesting. They say chamomile, lavender, geranium,
Hmm.
marjoram, bergamot, which is one of my favorites,
Oh, I
frankincense,
love that one.
neroli. Oh, that's a nice one. Neroli is a good one with the masculine energy too. Sandalwood.
I got candle, got all them sandalwood, bergamot. That's from my bed and bathy. Body, what is it? They always call it everything, but what the heck it is? Bath and
Bath and
body.
Body Works.
Yeah, I had to.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah, I like that. Hell, they all the same. It's the bath and it's the body. Oh no, it's not the same. But yeah.
Creating a ritual for yourself. Creating a ritual for yourself. A lot of people used to manage fear with we would pray before we went to bed, right? We would get on our
Hmm.
knees, pray, and we would connect with spirit and source and meditate. Pray. Meditate. I think of prayer as more like you're asking and giving thanks, and then meditation is more like you're just receiving and you're not judging,
Hmm.
right? Because God is answering our questions, and He does it through the angels and all of this. He can talk to us directly. It's just a matter of are we listening?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said earlier, I used to get intimidated by my own power, and I was
Hmm.
like, oh man, I'm just so weird. Everyone's gonna think I'm weird. Well, if they're gonna think you're weird, then just enjoy it. Enjoy being weird, because when weird is in, everybody's gonna be up in your face, and it's like,
Hmm.
oh, now's the perfect opportunity for me to get real weird and real honest.
I want to be weird like you.
When I grow up, I want to be just like April.
Oh, oh.
It happens once a year, so you too can be.
Once
But
a
not
year.
April 2020. That was one hell of an April.
Yeah, fuck yeah. All right. I was trying to see, was there anything else? No, you pretty much covered it. Was there any other last words before we close out? Any last thoughts or anything?
Honestly, I
Uh-huh.
just want one. I just want one McNasty card.
I said, what the heck? How they gonna help us with what we talking about? How this helping us with ascension?
Well, we are talking about ascension and things rising to a higher level, and well,
I could use a whole lot of ascension.
Let's see. Source. This is
How
interesting.
many ascension licks does it take to get?
For the niggas'
To pray.
mind. All right, this got the Knight of Swords here. So this is interesting. You brought it up, and I think I know which way it wants to go with this. What would this card have to do? Back to it again. I'm sorry, I gotta slide you to the side, folks. What would this card have to do with Ascension? Thinky.
Is that discipline? Is that discipline and creating it? Ooh, and people don't let it, doesn't matter if they see. Ooh, because they are just watching.
What you see, Kathy? What would this card have to do with Ascension? This is what Source picked.
This
what would that?
This is. See, now she got me all scrambled. But yeah, it's the Sword of Truth is laying at an angle. So you're not standing completely in your truth, but you are enough in your truth that you understand it takes discipline, and you don't really care if other people are watching or not. And she is completely vulnerable. He's still got his high heart covered, his root, and his sacral. So he's not as open as she is.
So that means that your divine masculine energies will be your thinking. You're not too open in those areas. So how you relate to others and what you're grounded and rooted in, and then your high heart too about your bliss. So you got to kind of work with that. That's why Ascension is coming along with that. In some ways, your emotions is a slave to your thinking.
And you don't want to fight it, because if you notice the way he's got a hold of her hair, if you tried to fight it and pull away, you're going to wind up hurting yourself. But if you go with the flow, it's not going to be as painful.
Right. And I also think about, like, with Native Americans, they believe that the hair is like a antenna to get your receive intuition and awareness through. So it's like your thinking is cutting it off. It's not really, you're not being able to really get the information that you need as well. And and if you get can I get a little closer? Look at that face in that DM there. Do you know what he doing?
No, not a bit.
I ain't got a clue. But all I just know is I'm gonna stop this because it don't feel right. And I got my whip here to crack the whip to let people know I'm boss. My DM energy is in boss mode. And she's like, just look at it. Somebody save me, please. Can somebody call my mom or something? So right here.
I don't know how much she wants to be saved if you look at her.
She looks like she knows what's going on. She's like, oh, this is
okay, yeah. She's like, all right.
Yeah, so she's like, yeah.
But it does look like we need discipline to get through.
Right.
And curtains. If you don't have curtains, get curtains, because you got nosy neighbors.
Yeah, so it is discipline, but it's the way of how you're going about it as well.
Somebody in the background there is holding plants or something, like the nosy people. What are they holding?
This is just the outfit.
Birds or something. Hold on a second. Let me see.
Not birds again. They can't be birds.
I just tease it.
Actually, I think they are birds.
Oh, she has her hand out, but it's up, huh?
Yeah. So it's
giving.
Oh, they are birds. They are birds.
Are they birds or frogs?
Birds or frogs?
Either way, it's symbols of love.
Yeah.
Right.
And there were two of them.
Yeah. Like cricket. Yeah, so it is. You got to get disciplined, but something we got to have a meeting of a mind. I know this masculine energy there's got a lot of energies here. It's got a lot
to. I think there's the high heart blockage.
Mm-hmm.
High heart blockage. So, and I think
because there is no root, there is no ground, and the sacral is all messed up, they're now reassessing. They do have willpower. They do have the solar plexus. They do have the mind. They do have the crown, but they
got that
higher love. But they still want to tap that.
They got an 8-pack going here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's tight.
Hey, he's got one shoe on and one shoe off. Doesn't he? Oh no, that's her hand. Never mind. I was all excited.
Shoes on, so he's got his understanding is covered too.
His boots are made for walking.
Yeah, so we gotta work on
She's
that thinking.
rooted
That
because
thinking
she
gotta
got the
get on
red panties
board.
on.
Mhm.
Huh?
And she's rooted because she's got the red panties on. She understands. She gets it. She looks very knowing, and he just looks like, well,
Here
I'm
we
here.
go.
you have to do something freaky.
Somebody say whip you, whip it good. Whip it. Dun, dun, dun,
He
dun,
needs the funny little red hat. Whip it good.
yeah, yeah. So okay, well, that's interesting, introspective that the source picked that card. But we see we got to get one accord, and we got to get discipline. Both of them got to be on the same thing, and our divine masculine and our divine feminine energies within, so we can really have union during this ascension. So those are the things we got to concentrate. All right, that was fun and interesting. Okay, don't shoot me because this like this is, oh my god, this is really the wrong one. What is let me go with Kathy D, and I'll come back and I'll type it in. If you want more information from Kathy D, go to www.pineapplefishlifecoaching.com so you can get more ideas and more understanding as far as how your mind, she can help you learn those Jedi mind tricks just like she does. So go to pineapplefishlifecoaching.com. Okay, we're gonna have to do this on the fly because this is old. They got golden, they got your Gmail on here. That's why I know this is the wrong one. So we're gonna have to create it on the fly. What is yours again?
Made for this golden. You can put my Gmail. Just put it up.
Okay, because I was about to I apologize. I didn't know I was on this. So okay, you can go to golden to life at gmail.com. This is Golden Lifestyles Unlimited. You can get in touch with April Williams this way as well. See me on Friday at the Playground Experience, and you'll have where you can reach her. But tell them also too at the website where you can also reach you as well. Tell them, April, tell them where you can reach you also.
Made for this goldenlife.com because
Okay,
you were made for this golden life.
there you go. Ha ha! Yeah. And also, we have me, Divine Unisouls 11.co. If you want some more McNasty cards, reach me there, Divine Unisouls 11.co, so you can be able to get your own reading, personalized reading there too as well. And then also for us, if you want to have all of three of our services, so we can help you with your ascension, say, I'm trying to do it on my own, but I need help. Guess what? You don't need to call the Ghostbusters. You call the Playground Experience, and we can be able to help you there. You get somebody to reach you for your mind, your body, and your spirit. So get us. It's an hour a piece for each one of us for $92, and we'll give you even some extras too. And you get coaching and whatever we think that you need, or whatever you think you need help on. We'll create a program based upon your needs. So hit us up on that. You say you're really serious about investing in yourself and making that change, like Michael Jackson. You can go to divineUnisouls11.co as well. And if you like, this is really old, but we're going to keep on rolling. If you like what you see on here, make sure that you subscribe or click or like and share as needed to this so you can get all those notifications letting us know what good stuff is happening on this channel. Please make sure that you come back with us on Friday to the Playground Experience Sandbox Edition, where we answer your questions and we continue the discussion of what we talked about today, which was understanding about ascension symptoms as well. So you can ask us all those questions there too as well. So all right then, who I need to get you off of here. You on here? Okay. All right then. So get us on out of here, Kathy D.
Well, wishing you your best life ever and happy Ascension Syndrome. And see you real soon.
Yes, and April Williams.
Stay blessed. Stay golden.
All right. And as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste. Namago. Love you. And we're out.
Aloha.